the next new island inside of My Singing Monsters is up on the horizon, and it's coming very soon. So today, we're going to dissect absolutely everything on the new island so we can work out what is going on, as it looks absolutely insane. Inside of the trailer at the very end, we are welcomed towards a large disruption where we are took up into the clouds and revealed towards the new island. And when the clouds go back, we then see a very mysterious symbol and what looks to be the colossal of the new island. This symbol predates all the way back to the Dawn of Fire era, and we've seen it in many places throughout My Singing Monsters. To name the most important place, though, I think we have to visit Stonehenge, as if we have a look at the symbol that is rotating all the way around Stonehenge, we can see the symbol that is on the new island. And this is not by coincidence. This symbol has long been theorized what exactly it means, and this new island looks like it's going to answer that huge fan mystery that has been kept under wraps for years. They've been very persuasive in the fact that this symbol just represents the monster world, but seeing as though it's in so many places at this point, it makes sense that we are going to be revealed here towards its actual true meaning. We also see it with the Wonder Mine, and we also see it in Playground, where it's on the buildings if we have a look at them there. So this symbol has been in many places, but what exactly does it mean then? We've seen many symbols in the My Singing Monsters multiverse. Most of them resemble elements. If we have a look at the ethereal sigils, they seem to all go back to the elements. However, with this one, I'm thinking that it could mean something different. This has been seen in far too many places, probably for its own good at this point, and therefore I think it resembles something different other than an element. And for this, I think we actually need to go back to Sanctum. Over on the Sanctum, when Enchantling came along at the very end, we were welcomed towards this symbol that has been on Ethereal Island ever since forever, and this symbol was revealed to be the symbol that represents the Sanctum overall. So maybe this symbol could be what is representing this new area that we have not seen as of yet, but in fact the monsters have perhaps known about. I think this is the best theory overall, and because this symbol is here, I feel like this island is going to be absolutely insane. And I'm really excited to see what lore is integrated with this symbol, as this has been a huge mystery ever since the game has begun, basically. So we've been on about the symbol now, which is probably the biggest mystery of all that the island is setting out towards answering. But what is this island going to center around? If we go back to the trailer and we take it in slow motion when we are beginning to rise up through the clouds, you will notice that here we can see Gold Island. This means that this island is located where Gold Island is, but not only that, it is just above Gold Island, this new island. And this also means that it's likely going to share similarities to Gold Island. So seeing as though it's going to be a Gold Island-esque island, I think the big question to now ask is, what monsters are going to go on this island? We've had the Sanctum, that's been the big debut where we've had all the magicals basically come amongst one another, but what exactly is left? So if we go on back to what this island represents, then we can see amber absolutely everywhere, and this is another thing that is very much integrated into the game. We see it with the Freed thing, with Flutter, who's the creature inside of it, and we also see it when Kana breaks out of the amber and breaks loose from their chains that were actually set in place all the way from the Dawn of Fire period. So seen as though amber is being represented here, and we also know about its relevance with the relics, and that amber is also very much linked to the fire monsters. Perhaps this new island could be for the fire monsters, but just wait guys, because it goes even deeper than that. As if we have a look at the colossal here that's on show from the new island too, it only appears to have one eye. The other eyes could be to the side, who knows, but seeing as though this massive sigil here seems to be the most bulkiest part of the colossal, it makes sense that this might be the eye of the colossal itself. So seeing as though this may be the colossal's eye, what other islands do we know that only have one eye that are featured to be a colossal too? The Fire Islands, as both Fire Haven and Fire Oasis only have one eye. But just wait there, because if you are still unconvinced, I think we have to investigate further back in the trailer. As if we go back and look at when Smoocher was traveling amongst all of the different islands, we can see when they were visiting Celestial Island, the different elements that were scattered amongst the island, we had all of the natural elements. And if we are to have a Fire Island where all of the Dawn of Fire fire elementals come along, it would make sense that all the elements would actually have to be on here, and for it to essentially have all of the elements that were on the continent back in Dawn of Fire. So this is hinting yet again that the fire monsters are going to be a part of the island. But it doesn't end there either, as if we go back to the very end of the trailer, who do you hear? You hear Dromedary in the background. Let's take a listen. So as you guys can hear there in the little edit I put together, you can hear a very faint sound, but it definitely is Dromedary. So I am fully convinced that with this new island, we are going to be seeing the return of a fire island. And I do think this is going to be the finale of the fire islands themselves, as I think this may be an island where we see all of the fire monsters in-game that we've not seen as of yet. So how on earth will this work, though? I think we need to definitely investigate that, and in order to do so, we need to head on over to the loading screen, as here we have a beautiful display of the new island, and I've got to say it looks so exciting, this one. There's 3 huge plaques in the background that we can see that appear to be emerging from the island that we'll likely see towards the sides too, and we also can work out from this image that we don't have a castle on this island, but not only that, there appears to be no breeding structure, but instead a nursery there. Seeing as though we know that it's going to be an escape for the fire monsters, let's say, and all of the fire monsters are likely to be on here, I think we need to investigate how this is going to happen. Seeing as though there's no breeding structure, it really brings to question how this island is going to function. And if we look to the left, in replacement of this breeding structure that we no longer have on this island, there is instead something in its place. It's very hard, unfortunately, to work out from this image what it is precisely. However, it appears to be something very much involved with the new island, and I think it will be involved in how we obtain monsters on this island. So let's delve into some theories behind what this could be then. First of all, we know from the island itself that relics are going to likely play a very large role inside of this island. The island itself appears to be literally made out of amber. So if that doesn't scream that relics are going to be involved in this in some way, then I don't know what else does. Whether relics are going to be a really important part of this island and whether they're going to tie into this structure is questionable, but I think overall this structure is going to function very differently to the breeding structures that we see on the normal islands, and I have a theory towards how this structure could operate. Seeing as though we know that this is going to likely tie all of the fire monsters up together, it could be the case that the structure could be tied to all of the islands, and that you could perhaps breed monsters together that you have across all of the islands. So take all of your fire monsters on Fire Haven, Fire Oasis, and all of the magical islands. This structure could essentially allow you to breed all of those together, resulting in new monsters on the new island. What really throws me off with this fact, though, is that the nursery is there, and that actually comes on to my other theory, which is that monsters could teleport on over there. Seeing as though the nursery is there, it makes bang on sense for you to be able to teleport monsters across onto the new Fire Island and place them down on the island, and then for the new structure to do its thing. But I think teleportation is definitely going to be involved in some ways, especially seeing as on Gold Island, we see you placing down monsters when they reach a certain level. I think that's going to be the case here, but instead of that, we're going to see you teleporting them on over instead. Seeing as though there are some monsters that are missing though, that's where I think that the new structure is going to come in, as we have quite a few monsters that would be missing on this new Fire Island upon teleporting all of the fire elementals over. And when I'm talking about the missing ones, I mean the missing ones that aren't on the magical and fire islands, of course. I also, however, have another theory which I think is important to note here. If we take a look at the structure overall, it bears immense similarity to the living car, which is a structure that we see just outside of Fire Haven. And seeing as though the living car is here, potentially, it looks like it might not be. They don't quite match, but seemingly it matches in some ways, so maybe it's undergone a redesign or something. But if this is the living island core, then we know that all the fire monsters reside inside of it. So because of that, maybe this could be how we obtain the other fire elementals that you aren't going to teleport across, and that maybe this could signify even further that we are going to be obtaining from this structure the other fire elementals that we don't have on the other islands as of yet, and that you teleport the other ones on over. I think this is the most likeliest situation, to be honest. I definitely see this new structure, regardless of whatever it may be, being involved in you getting the rest of the fire elementals that you can't get through teleporting as of yet right now. As for what this new island will look like, though, we have an absolutely gorgeous design put together by Breed0 on Instagram. Please do go and give them a follow. As looking at this, you can really see how the island may put itself together. They've even put a castle there. And you can see here how lovely this island could turn out. The color scheme behind it could turn out absolutely wonderful, I do think. And the amount of sigils we could get lore from this is absolutely revolutionary. I like the idea of having the eyes there. I'm really uncertain whether we are going to get any colossal eyes or whether the massive amber symbol in the middle will represent it in some way. But regardless, I am in love with this design that Preed has come up with, and I really do hope that it turns out something like it. If you guys enjoyed this video though, please do make sure to leave a like and to subscribe. I will be making even more videos on the new island very soon. Unfortunately, there was so much to unpack inside of the new trailer. I am going to be doing it across 2 videos so I can put out some quality content out there whilst also not rushing into talking about just quite everything just yet. I will see you guys later though. Bye.